And our first singer this evening is, with no warning whatsoever, James Ego. Sorry about this, but it is James Ego. And after James, could we please have a song from Clive Woolf? Sorry to take you by surprise there, James. I hope you're ready.
Beg your pardon, am I up?
You are indeed.
Oh, okay, sorry, I stepped away from the computer. But yeah, sure. What shall I do? I shall do, um, I'll do a mining song. I think this is an American mining song that came over here for a change. I got it from the Pitman Poets show. Now I'm the celebrated working man, from work I never shirk, I can hew more coal than any man, from Glasgow down to York. And if you'd like to see me style, just call around on me, when I've had several beers in the bar room, in the bar room, in the bar room, that's where we congregate, to drill the holes and fill the coals and shovel back the slate. And for to do a job of work, well I am never late, that's provided that we do it in the bar room. Now I can judge a shot of powder to a 16th of a grain, I can fill me 18 tubs though the water falls like rain. And if you'd like to see me in the perpendicular vein, it's when I'm setting timbers in the bar room, in the bar room, in the bar room, that's where we congregate, to drill the holes and fill the coals and shovel back the slate. And for to do a job of work, well I am never late, that's provided that we do it in the bar room. At putting I'm a dandy, I hope you will agree, and ganning along the ganning boards I make the chummins flee. Your Kelly sweeps, your back hour turns, they never bother me, when I'm sitting on me limmers in the bar room, in the bar room, in the bar room, that's where we congregate, to drill the holes and fill the coals and shovel back the slate. And for to do a job of work, well I am never late, that's providing that we do it in the bar room. And now me song is ended, I hope we'll have another, but don't you fire any shots in here or we will surely smother. The landlord here would rather pull beer than go to all the bother to pull up the ventilators in the bar room, in the bar room, in the bar room, that's where we congregate, to drill the holes and fill the coals and shovel back the slate. And for to do a job of work, well I am never late, that's provided that we do it in the bar room, in the bar room, in the bar room, that's where we congregate, to drill the holes and fill the coals and shovel back the slate. And for to do a job of work, well I am never late, that's provided that we do it in the bar room.
Ah, lovely. Great. Happy members of good old Jack Elliott used to sing there.
Well done, James.
Thanks, James. That's a good place to start. A good place to start the evening, the bar room.
Back in the bar room one of these days.
It would be good, wouldn't it? Anyway.
Oh, wouldn't it though?
We live in hope. So, Clive, are you prepared to sing for us this evening?
I am indeed, indeed, indeed.
Excellent. And after Clive, we'll have Elizabeth Block, please.
I'm going to sing you a song.
You're still on mute, just a second. Is
that better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's you away. Yeah.
Right. Song collected by the main man, Cecil, in the Barrelburn workhouse. So there, my Yabu sax and all that stuff. Right. I've done this at Sharps a number of times. Fairden well to dear old Derrentiles, I must now leave you for a while, for the rates and taxes are so high, I can no longer stay. Well, I sailed away from Dublin's quay, and landed here but yesterday. My frieze, my shirt, my coat in holes is all lied in my kit. but I just stepped in to let you know the sights I'd seen before I'd go. The ups and downs of Ireland since the year of '98. That fruitful land might have its own, our friends and family might stay alone. But since fortune has proven otherwise, poor Pat must emigrate. And it's never a word I'd say at all, although my wages were but small. They'd leave us in our cabins where our fathers drew their breath. And when it came upon rent day, we had no halfpence for to pay. And they would hunt us out into the street to beg to starve to death. Now what kind of treatment, boys, isn't that to give to honest Irish Pat? To hunt him out into the streets to beg to starve to death. So I got up with heart and hand, and I sown my little plot of land. And that's the reason, boys, you understand, poor Pat must emigrate.
Well done, Clive.
Thank you.
And Clive.
Song, Clive.
Thank you.
That's the same tune as the Black Leg Miner, isn't it? Or similar.
Oh, so it is.
I wonder where it
Thanks,
comes from.
Clive. That's a cracking song.
Thank
So
you.
Elizabeth is next, and after Elizabeth, Pal.
Right. Okay then, Mother. Thank you.
Uh,
Dolly.
I note that there is at least one person here from Brooklyn. I was born in Brooklyn. I live in Canada. I love telling Canadians, I was born in Brooklyn. You got a problem with that, mister? Nobody has ever admitted to having a problem with that. This is a song I wrote to a traditional tune. Actually, it's a rewrite of a song called When the Yellow's on the Broom. Well, we don't have Broom here, but we do have Forsythia, which also blooms yellow in the spring before the leaves come on. You see the yellow flowers, and it is the official flower of Brooklyn. I'm not making this up. So here we are. Now Brooklyn is so boring when the winter comes around. In our rent-controlled apartment, we are just about housebound. Manhattan seems so far away from this dreary little room, but we'll go there on the subway when Forsythia's in bloom. When Forsythia's in bloom, Forsythia's in bloom. We'll go there on the subway when Forsythia's in bloom. The grass and flowers all are dead. The sky is gray and dull. The birds have all gone south except the pigeon and the gull. As for the tree that grows in Brooklyn, its leafless branches loom. But we'll go to Prospect Park when Forsythia's in bloom. When Forsythia's in bloom, Forsythia's in bloom. We'll go to Prospect Park when Forsythia's in bloom. There's lots of fine exhibits in the Brooklyn Museum, but when their streets are icy, we just don't dare go and see them. There's Romans, Greeks, and moderns, and an old Egyptian tomb. We'll go and see the mummies when Forsythia's in bloom. When Forsythia's in bloom, Forsythia's in bloom. We'll go and see the mummies when Forsythia's in bloom. Now Brooklyn can be dangerous in any kind of weather. Some folks'll blow your head off if you touch 'em with a feather. The druggies and the street gangs, They might prove our doom, but we'll defy the muggers when Forsythia's in bloom. Now, I wrote that 20 years ago. Things have changed, and I wrote a new verse. Brooklyn once was full of folks who didn't put on airs, but now it's full of yuppies and dot-com millionaires. High-priced, pretentious restaurants, they make us seethe and fume, but we'll eat hot dogs at Nathan's when Forsythia's in bloom. When Forsythia's in bloom, Forsythia's in bloom. We'll eat dogs at Nathan's when Forsythia's in bloom. And yet each year we feel the pain of a wound that hasn't healed. For Brooklyn still is haunted by the ghosts of Enfield. The joy of spring is tempered by a sad nostalgic gloom. We'll dream about the Dodgers when Forsythia's in bloom. When Forsythia's in bloom. Forsythia's in bloom. Dream about the Dodgers when Forsythia's in bloom. Any questions?
I got no problem with you being from Brooklyn, but I'm sure glad I wasn't born there.
For a slight early unmute. Yeah, I got the button wrong.
The song did kind of finish and then start up again, so I'm not surprised. Elizabeth, that was fantastic. What a fantastic rewrite. I was wondering, how are you going to make it scan with Forsythia? But yeah, well done. Okay, so Pal is our next singer, and after Pal it will be Riggy.
Okay, staying on the other side of the pond. There is a young cowboy who lives, that's too high. There is a young cowboy who lives on the range. His horse and his cattle are his only companions. He works in the saddle and he sleeps in the canyons, waiting for summer, his pastures to change. And as the moon rises, he sits by his fire, thinking about women and glasses of beer, closing his eyes as the doggies retire. He sings out a song that is soft but is clear, as if maybe someone could hear. Good night, you moonlight ladies, rock-a-bye, sweet baby James. Deep greens and blues are the colours I choose. Won't you let me go down in my dreams and rock-a-bye, sweet baby James? Now the 1st of December was covered with snow, and so was the turnpike from Stockbridge to Boston. The Berkshires seemed dreamlike on account of their frosting, with 10 miles behind me and 10,000 more to go. There's a song that they sing when they take to the highway, a song that they sing when they take to the sea, a song that they sing of their home in the sky. Maybe you can believe it if it helps you to sleep, 'cause singing works just fine for me. Good night, you moonlight ladies, rock-a-bye, sweet baby James. Deep greens and blues are the colours I choose. Won't you let me go down in your dreams and rock-a-bye, sweet baby James? Yes, rock-a-bye, sweet baby James.
Wow, that
Beautiful,
was
pal.
good.
Lovely, Hal.
Really good.
Lovely.
Great stuff now. Very, very sweet and sad. So Riggy is our next singer, and then it will be Steve. Steve's
Okay,
up
everybody's
again, so
crossing
it's
the
another
pond.
one. I can't remember how many Steves they've got now.
Dozens.
Ooh, I'm stopped.
Are you there, Riggy?
I'm here. It took many keystrokes. So I was amazed 50 years ago to hear that this was actually English. And it sounded like some other language to me, but it's a great pub song, and we're imagining ourselves in a pub, so let's be there. There was Tom and Jane and Betsy, eating bones and drinking whiskey, dancing jigs upon the fiddle, up the side and down the middle. Would you ever see? I think I should go to sea. Was you ever see? Was you ever see? Was you ever see? Jolly time before. I was got a brother Joe, he was come from Gallico, he was go to Chester College for to have a bit of knowledge. Was you ever see? Was you ever see? Was you ever see such a jolly time before? I was got a sister Bella, she was bought an umbrella, she was think so much about it, she could never go without it. Was you ever see? Was you ever see? Was you ever see such a jolly time before? There was Tom and Jane and Betsy, eating bones and drinking whiskey, dancing jigs upon the fiddle, up the sides and down the middle. Was you ever see? Was you ever see? Was you ever see such a jolly time before? Was you?
Wasn't.
Not English, Riggy. It's Welsh.
I was thinking that, but Cosher Bailey had many cousins, and this song is a sort of another cousin of the Cosher Bailey song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Riggy and John White must be the only people who know clean verses to Cosher Bailey.
I don't want to hear any of the dirty ones right now, so let's move swiftly on. Can't possibly have that kind of thing. Good grief. Okay, so what's happening next? Steve is happening next. So thank you, Riggy. Steve is next, and then it will be David Kidman.
Well, since we have a bit of a theme that has to do with Brooklyn, I was born in Brooklyn, even though I don't live there. Marilyn and I did live in Brooklyn for a short time, right? For about 4 months or so. We lived in a commune in downtown Brooklyn. It was, we rented a 4-story building. There were a group of about 15 of us. We rented it for $200 a month. The building now probably sells for about $2 or $3 million at least. More than that. Okay, this is a song about Brooklyn seamen, sailors that worked the Gowanus Canal. The Gowanus Canal, the mighty Gowanus Canal, is about 10 feet deep, maybe 12 feet deep. The beneath that, it's a thick paste that they call black mayonnaise, mostly petroleum products. And it's only 2 miles long. And the northern end is at a place called Butler Street in a neighborhood called Cobble Hill. And the southern end of it, it makes kind of a dog leg to the southwest. It goes into New York Bay at a place called Buttermilk Channel. Let's see if I remember the song. I am a mighty sailing man, I come from Brooklyn town, but I never left old Brooklyn to sail this world around. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. I'll try that again, so you could join me, as long as you mute yourself. I am a mighty sailing man, I come from Brooklyn town, but I never left old Brooklyn to sail this world around. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. I am a Brooklyn preacher, I'll save you from your fate if you'll drop your dimes and quarters on my silver plate. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. I am a casket maker, my Brooklyn is my home. I'll keep you, okay, what do I say? I'm sorry. I am a casket maker, in Brooklyn I do dwell. I'll keep your bones as cold as stones where your soul it burns in hell. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. I am the Brooklyn brewer, I make the beer and ale. I'll get you drunk, you'll get a bunk in the Brooklyn jail. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. I am the Brooklyn harlot, the Brooklyn streets I'm sorry, here I go. I am the Brooklyn harlot, I walk the Brooklyn streets, and if you have a silver dollar, you can have some Brooklyn treats. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. I am the Brooklyn postman, the Brooklyn streets I roam, and I have a special delivery for some lovely lass at home. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. I'm the Brooklyn baseball player, I dodge the trolley cars. By day I hit the baseballs, and by night I hit the bars. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. That's great, I'm making a mess of my own song. Let me try to get to the end of it quickly then. I am the Brooklyn folk singer, I play this old guitar. My soul I'll sell to the devil in hell if I could be a star. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. Brooklyn has its share of scoundrels, the list is very long, and at the top you're sure to spot the one who wrote this song last time. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. Down the Gowanus. Well, let's see if I
That's like a folk song.
I could screw up my own song other than that next time.
And I live within walking distance of the Gowanus, so I feel you.
Okay, so you know exactly what I mean when I say the
You know what you're talking about, yes.
Right.
Thanks, Steve. Great song, and you've developed the theme for this evening, which has suddenly, randomly become Brooklyn, which I can understand is going to be tricky for a lot of people. So do your best, folks. Do your best. But if you want to introduce another theme, feel free.
You can tell I hadn't planned on doing that song.
Okay, so it's David Kidman is our next singer, and then I'll do one after him, I think.
Right. Right. Hi there. Glad to see you back, Amanda. Trusting you had a great time. I'm going to transport everybody as far away from Brooklyn as I can think. It's one of those songs that I used to sing an awful lot, stopped singing it for a while, then I started singing it again and realised just how damn good it is. Sung by Bob Watson. Now the Southern Ocean is a lonely place, where the storms are many and the shelter scarce. Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn, on the restless waters and the troubling sky, there you'll see that Mollymawk wheel and fly. Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. Oh, won't you ride the wind and go, white seabird? Oh, won't you ride the wind and go, Mollymawk? Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. Now see the Mollymawk riding on his white, white wings, and Lord, what a lonesome song he sings. Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. And he's got no compass and he's got no gear. Oh Lord, can't tell you how the Mollymawk steer. Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. Oh, won't you ride the wind and go, white seabird? Won't you ride the wind and go, Mollymawk? Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. Well, he's the ghost of a sailor man, as I've heard say, whose body it sank and his soul flew away. Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. And he's got no haven and he's got no home. He's bound forevermore for to wheel and roll. Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. Oh, won't you ride the wind and go, white seabird? Oh, won't you ride the wind and go, Mollymawk? Down upon the Southern Ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. Now when I get too weary for to sail no more, let my bones sink better far away from shore. Down upon the southern ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. And you can cast me loose and leave me drifting free, and I'll keep that big bird company. Down upon the southern ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn. Oh, won't you ride the wind and go, white seabirds? Oh, won't you ride the wind and go, Mollymawk? Down upon the southern ocean sailing, down below Cape Horn.
Thing going with self-MC.
And you brought that one back, David. It's good.
Okay,
Do it.
back.
Lovely song, David. You could feel the Antarctic chill, which is quite welcome, actually, at the moment. So I'm going to sing next, and after me, could we have Ruairidh, please?
Oh.
And yes, so I'm going to sing, it's a traditional ballad, but it's one of the ones that's got little joiny in bits all through it. So please do join in. Yeah, it's an honour killing, which always popular. So, there come a lady frae Scotland, hey my love, and oh my joy. There come a lady frae Scotland, wha dearly loves me. There come a lady frae Scotland, and she's fallen in love with an Englishman. And bonny Susie Cleland's to be pardoned in Dundee. The fathers to the daughter came, hey my love, and oh my joy. The fathers to the daughter came, oh dearly lose me. The fathers to the daughter came, oh you forsake yon Englishman, or bonny Susie Cleland's to be pardoned in Dundee. I'll no my Englishman forsake, hey my love, and oh my joy. I'll no my Englishman forsake, oh dearly lose me. I'll no my Englishman forsake, though you may burn me at the stake. And bonny Susie Cleland's to be burned in Dundee. Oh, where will I find a bonny wee boy? Hey, my love, and oh, my joy. Oh, where will I find a bonny wee boy? What dearly lose me? Oh, where will I find a bonny wee boy to carry tidings to my joy? That bonny Susie Cleland's to be pardoned in Dundee. Oh, here am I, a bonny wee boy, hey, my love, and oh, my joy. Oh, here am I, a bonny wee boy, oh, dearly lose thee. Oh, here am I, a bonny wee boy, who'll carry tidings to your joy. That bonny Susie Cleland's to be burned in Dundee. Oh, gie to him this recht hand glove, Hey, my love, and oh, my joy. Oh, gie to him this wrecked glove, what dearly lose me. Oh, gie to him this wrecked glove, tell him to find another love. But bonny Susie Cleland's to be pardoned in Dundee. And gie to him this wee penknife, hey, my love, and oh, my joy. Oh, gie to him this wee penknife, what dearly lose me. Oh, gie to him this wee penknife, tell him to find another wife. But bonny Susie Cleland's to be pardoned in Dundee. And gie to him this gay gold ring, hey, my love, and oh, my joy. And gie to him this gay gold ring, what dearly lose me. Oh, gie to him this gay gold ring, tell him to come to my burning. For bonny Susie Cleland's to be pardoned in Dundee. Her father, he's put up the stake, hey, my love, and oh, my joy. Her father, he's put up the stake, what dearly lose me. Her father, he's put up the stake, her brother did the fire make. And bonny Susie Cleland was burned in Dundee.
Absolutely stunning, Amanda. Thank you.
I was going to sing the first verse, the Camel Lady from Brooklyn, but I thought I'd better not adapt it. It was kind of spoiler. Anyway.
It sounds as if Susie Cleland had an awful lot at stake.
Oh. That does it. In 2020, we're all still barbarians. We think that's funny.
Okay, so Ruairidh, welcome. I don't know if you've been to this session before, but so I don't think I've heard you, so welcome and looking forward to hearing you sing. And after Ruairidh, it will be Jan.
Okay.
Don't forget to unmute.
Okay. That's all right? Yeah, good. Well, despite the Gaelic Christian name, I in fact come from Lincolnshire, and this is a Lincolnshire version of the Worcester City or Oxford City or Jealousy. So more misdeeds and poisonings to follow burnings. In Worcester City there lived a damsel, and now the truth to you I'll tell. She by a servant man was courted, who oft times told her he loved her well. She loved him too, but at a distance. She did not seem to be very fond. Now for your falseness and unconstant fairness, I soon shall end your sweet tender life. A short time after, this fair young damsel was invited to a ball, you know. This wicked young man he followed after, and soon prepared for her overthrow. As she was dancing all with another, jealousy it filled his mind, then to destroy his own true love, this wicked young man he was inclined. Then quickly he has taken poison and mixed it with a glass of wine and gave it to his own true love. She drank it with the most cheerful mind. A short time after this fair young damsel, "Oh, take me home, my dear," said she, "the liquor that you have lately gave me, it makes me very ill indeed." As they were walking along together, he unto her these words did say, "I gave you poison in your liquor, all for to take your sweet life away. And I have drunk of the same, my jewel, I too shall die as well as thee." So in each other's arms they died. Young men, beware of jealousy.
Awesome.
Great stuff. That's two really nasty songs in a row.
Great stuff, Ruairidh.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, so Jan is next, and after Jan, John White.
It's John White, who I love. He's the soul man.
Okay, totally off theme. It's a tune by Tim Laycock, words from an 19th century whaling logbook. Clouds are upon the summer sky, there's thunder in the wind. Pull on, and homeward hie, nor give one look behind. Row on, another day may shine with brighter light. Ply the oars and pull away, there's dawn beyond the night. Speak if you will the words of love, say all that words can say. Changeless affection, strength to prove, and speed us on the way. Row on, another day may shine with brighter light. Ply the oars and pull away, there's dawn beyond the night. Oh, like yon river would I glide to where my heart would be. My bark would soon outsail the tide that hurries to the sea. Row on, another day may shine with brighter light. Ply the oars and pull away, there's dawn beyond the night. And yet a star shines constant still in yonder cloudy sky, and hope as bright my bosom fills, that from faith that cannot die. Row on, another day may shine with brighter light. Ply the oars and pull away, there's dawn beyond the night. Row on, God speed the way, thou must not linger here. Storms gather round the closing day, tomorrow may be clear. Last chorus. Row on, another day may shine with brighter light. Ply the oars and pull away, there's dawn beyond the night.
So
that wasn't too hopeful after all the doom and gloom.
I think you managed to clear the air a bit. Thank you. So John White, it's you next, and after John it will be Wendy.
Okay, One of the classic comic songs of the music hall from someone very well done. What a mouth, what a mouth. And here's another classic song from the music hall, this time of the humorous irony of Guthrian's song, if it wasn't for the Ouses in between. If you saw our little backyard, what a lovely place, you cry. It's a picture on a sunny summer's day, with the turnip tops and cabbages, what people doesn't buy. I makes it on a Sunday look all gay. Now the neighbours thinks we grows them, and you'd fancy you're in Kent, or at Epsom as you gazes down the Mews. It's a wonder as the landlord doesn't want to raise the rent, because we've got such knobby distant views. Oh, it really is a very pretty garden, and Chingford to the eastward could be seen. With a ladder and some glasses you could see to Hackney Marshes, if it wasn't for the houses in between. Now we're as countrified as can be, with a clothes drop for a tree, and a tub stall makes a rustic little style. Every time the grilling clock strikes, there's cuckoo sings to me, and I've painted up to Leather Lane a mile. And with tomatoes and with radishes, well, that's not any sale. Well, that backyard makes a puffy mass of bloom. And we're going to make a beehive with some beetles in a pail and a pitchfork with the handle of a broom. Oh, it really is a very pretty garden. And Hendon to the northwards could be seen. And by clinging to the chimbley, you could see across to Wembley, if it wasn't for those houses in between. Now we've a little bunny shares his egg box with a cross-eyed cock and hen, though they has got the pip and him a cough. In a dog's house on the line post we had pigeons, 9 or 10, till someone took a brick and knocked them off. And the dust cart, though it seldom comes, is just like harvest home, and we means to rig a dairy up somehow. Put the donkey in the washhouse with some imitation horns, 'cause we're teaching him to moo, just like a cow. Now it really is a very pretty garden, and Croydon to the southwards could be seen. And by clinging to the trellis, you could see the Crystal Palace, if it wasn't for the houses in between. Now though the soap works, now though the gas works isn't violets, they improves the rural scene. 'Cause for mountains they would very nicely pass, with the mushrooms in the dust hole and the cucumber so green, well, it only needs a bit of hothouse glass. Now I wears a milkman's nightshirt, and I sits outside all day, like that ploughboy cove what mizzled o'er the lee. And when I gets indoors at night, they don't know what I say, 'cause my language gets as yokel as can be. Oh, it really was a very pretty garden, and the soapworks from the rooftops could be seen. If we had a rope and pulley, we'd enjoy the breeze more fully. If it wasn't for the houses in between. And if you stood upon the bathhouse, you could see old Cecil Sharphouse, if it wasn't for the houses in between.
Oh, well done, John. Absolutely.
It's lovely
Well
to hear
done.
that.
The last line was invented by by Dave. He's probably going to sing it later.
John, what about the Cosmotheca line?
Oh,
If
you-
the eyesight doesn't fail, if your eyesight doesn't fail you, you can see right to Australia. If it wasn't for the hours in between.
John Foreman has also done various different lines for that.
Yes.
The different verses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent,
Maybe-
excellent.
Maybe Dave Hardboard might give you a few more of his later on, including Canary Wharf. We'll leave that for now.
I was going to ask you to sing that one,
Some
John.
fantastic
Even
Barry.
if you was a dwarf, you could see Canary Wharf. Yeah,
Because Canary Wharf is a piece of ground. The building that people think is called Canary Wharf is actually called One Canada Square.
Oh dear, oh dear.
I used to do shifts on the Daily Mirror on the 22nd floor.
Okay, so if somebody could come up with a rhyme for One Canada Square, that'll keep us all happy, hopefully.
Yeah.
What about Brooklyn, eh?
Yeah, yeah, where was Brooklyn? Anyway. They're great rhymes, great performance, John. Okay, over now to Wendy, followed by Sheila Miller.
Oh, right.
Okay, I can't keep up with the Brooklyn or the One Canada Square theme, but this is at least Soho, and I'm going to thank Dave Clare for this, who suggested I learnt it. So this is for you, Dave. Ish. I've been loving you a long time. Down all the years, down all the days, and I've cried for all your troubles, smiled at your funny little ways. We watched our friends grow up together, and we saw them as they fell. Some of them fell into heaven, some of them fell into hell, fell into hell. I took shelter from a shower, and I stepped into your arms. On a rainy night in Soho, the wind was whistling all its charms. I sang you all my sorrows. You told me all your joys. Whatever happened to that old song? To all those little girls and boys, little girls and boys. Sometimes I'd wake up in the morning, the ginger lady by my bed, covered in a cloak of silence. I hear you talking in my head. I'm not singing for the future. I'm not dreaming of the past. I'm not talking of the first times. I never think about the last, about the last. Now this song is nearly over. We may never find out what it means. Still there's a light I hold before me. You are the measure of my dreams. You're the measure of my dreams.
Lovely, Wendy. Well done.
Lovely. Well done.
Well sung.
Lovely.
Thank you, Dave. That was so nice.
Yes, thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave.
Great stuff, Wendy. Totally different from anything that's gone before. It's another night of maximum contrast. So, Sheila, what do you have for us? And after Sheila, it will be Martin.
I occasionally get slightly pissed off with people anglicising Scottish songs on those occasions when it means that words that should rhyme don't, or when someone sings a word that doesn't make any sense because they haven't understood a Scots word in the song. So a while ago I thought I should put my hand to Scotticising some English songs. And this was the first one I thought I'd have a go at, because I've always loved this song, but lots of people sing it. But when I started looking, I realised there was actually a Scottish version. So I haven't really got anywhere. But having started on it, I thought I might as well do the Scottish version, and I've made it, I've Scotticised it slightly more than it was. It came from Ewan, of course. And I'm going to stand up because I think I breathe slightly more easily when I stand up. Hark, hark, the drums they beat, my love, and I must haste away. The bugles sweetly sound, and no longer can I stay. We are called up to Glasgow, and it's many a weary mile, all for to be embarked for the banks of the Nile. Oh, Willie, dearest Willie, dinna leave me here to mourn. Don't leave me here to curse the day that ever I was born. For parting with you, Willie, is like parting with my life. So stay at home, dear Willie, and make me your lawful wife. Oh, I'll put on my velveteens and gae along with you. I'll volunteer my services and get to Egypt too. I'll fight beneath your banner, love, and fortune it may smile, and I'll be your loyal comrade on the banks of the Nile. Oh, Annie, dearest Annie, oh, that would never do. The government has ordered that no woman can they say. The government has ordered, and the king he does command, and I am bound on oath, my love, to serve in a foreign land. Oh, cursed, cursed be the day that ever wars began, for they've ta'en out of Scotland many a bonny man. They've ta'en frae us all lifeguards, protectors o'er Isle, and their bodies feed the worms on the banks of the Nile. Now I have to find another song to Scoticize.
Oh, that's a pity.
That's a brilliant idea, Sheila. And I think that is the first time I've managed to understand that song. So. Okay, so Martin Neil is up next, followed by Pete and Maggie.
Righto, yes. I couldn't decide. I had two songs and I couldn't decide which one to sing, so I'm going to sing a third song instead, which is the way of deciding, it seems to me. Lots of versions of this song you probably, most people probably know one. This is, I sort of learnt this from a singer called, a recording of a singer called Harry Holman. But I'm sure it's been sort of infected by all the other versions I've heard as well. So I wouldn't promise this is how he used to sing it. As I was a-walking one morning at ease, viewing the leaves as they fell from the trees, they were all in full motion and appearing to grow. But they were all in full motion or appearing to be, but those that had withered, they fell from the tree. But what is the life of a man any more than a leaf? A man has his season, so why should he grieve? Although in this wide world we appear fine and gay, like the leaves we must wither and soon fade away. Did you not see the leaves but a short time ago? They were all in full motion and appearing to grow. Then the frost came upon them and withered them all. Then the wind came upon them and down they did fall. But what is the life of a man any more than a leaf? A man has his seasons, so why should he grieve? Although in this wide world we appear fine and gay, like the leaves we must wither and soon fade away. If you go down to yonder churchyard, many names there you'll see, who have fallen from this life like the leaves from a tree. Like when age and affliction will come to us all, and like leaves we must wither, and down we will fall. For what is the life of a man any more than a leaf? A man has his seasons, so why should he grieve? Although in this wide world
we appear fine and gay. Like a leaf we must wither and soon fade away. What is the life of a man?
Nice.
As Martin's strains fade away, we welcome Pete and Maggie.
Right.
And after they've both played, it will be Judy Cook.
Right, we're going just corporate this evening, so it's me first. I'm getting all nostalgic, and this is a very early Bob Dylan song, and we all know where he got it from, and this is what he did with it. Oh, fare thee well, my own true love, I'm leaving the first hour of the morn. I'm bound, oh, for the Bay of Mexico, or maybe the coast of California. So fare thee well, my own true love, we'll meet another day, another time. It's not the leaving that's grieving me, but my true love who's bound to stay behind. The weather is against me and the wind blows hard. The rain is turning into hail. I still might strike it lucky on a highway going west, though I'm traveling on a lonesome trail. So fare thee well, my own true love, we'll meet another day, another time. It's not the leaving that's grieving me, but my true love is bound to stay behind. I've heard tell of a town where I might as well be bound, down around the Mexican plain. They say that the people are all friendly there. All they ask of you is your name. So fare thee well, my own true love, meet the day another time. It's not the leaving that's grieving me, but my true love bound to stay behind. Something happened, we lost video.
What? Oh, goodness me.
Oh.
What happened?
Hey!
Ah.
You lost your picture, Pete.
Really?
Maggie, lost your picture.
Volume.
Oh.
We can't see at the moment, Maggie.
Picture this.
I actually switched your video off at first. Some technical glitches.
On a borrowed
with the sound.
laptop. Many of you. Hooray.
Yeah, we can see.
Breaking up a bit there.
Yeah, you were breaking. I switched your video off in the hope that it might help if you were having bandwidth.
Might help with bandwidth, yeah.
Can't see you at all.
So should we turn it off now?
It's up to you, but it would be nice to see you if we can. While Maggie readjusts her set, just remind you, it'll be Judy Cook after Maggie. Are you there? Uh-oh. Are you there, Maggie?
Maybe she needs to unmute.
Maybe they're going to try and get back in.
She might be rebooting.
Should we have Judy next and come back to them?
You're muted, Amanda.
Yeah, I was speaking there, but I don't know if you heard any of it. So
No.
yeah, I think Judy, if you could go next, and then we'll have Maggie when she rejoins.
Sure.
That'd be great.
I'll put my little song in here while we're waiting for Maggie. That'd be fine. I'm going to sing a song that was written by George Leyburn in 1868, and he was inspired to write this by the man who not only invented the flying trapeze act, but also invented the one-piece skin-tight garment that he wore, which allowed him complete freedom of movement and also showed off his musculature to great advantage. I know, yes, might well fan yourself, Amanda. It only gets worse. Let's see here. Wait a minute. Once I was happy, but now I'm forlorn, like an old coat that is tattered and torn. I'm left in this wide world to fret and to mourn, betrayed by a maid in her teens. Oh, the girl that I loved, she was handsome, and I tried all I could her to please, but I never could please her 1/4 so well as the man on the flying trapeze. He flies through the air with the greatest of ease, the daring young man on the flying trapeze. His movements are graceful, all the girls he does please, and my love he has purloined away. Her father and mother were both on my side. They tried very hard to make her my bride. Her father he sighed, and her mother she cried, to see her throw herself away. It was to no avail, she went there every night, and she threw him bouquets on the stage. This caused him to meet her, how he ran me down, to tell you would take a whole page. He flies through the air with the greatest of ease, the daring young man on the flying trapeze. His movements are graceful, all the girls he does please, and my love he has purloined away. One night I, as usual, went to her dear home. I found there her father and mother alone. I asked for my love, and soon they made known to my horror that she'd run away. She had packed up her bags and eloped in the night with him with the greatest of ease. From 2 stories high he had lowered her down to the ground on his flying trapeze. He flies through the air with the greatest of ease, the daring young man on the flying trapeze. His movements are graceful, all the girls he does please, and my love he has purloined away. Some months after that, I went down to the hall, and to my surprise I saw on the wall a bill in red letters that did my heart gall, that she was appearing with him. He had taught her gymnastics and dressed her in tights to help him to live at his ease. And he made her assume a masculine name, and now she goes on the trapeze. He flies through the air with the greatest of ease, the daring young man on the flying trapeze. His movements are graceful, all the girls he does please, and my love he has purloined away. And I did not mention that the young man's name who invented that garment name was Jules Leotard. And that's where that comes from. So that's kind of cool. There's, I do know that there is a verse, but it's it's slightly racist and never made much sense to me anyway. So I just leave it out, and I leave out the change in the last chorus, which has "she flies through the air."
Yes.
Because I think
you'd think her a man on the flying trapeze.
You'd her a man on the flying trapeze.
It was Leo G. Tard who invented the leotard.
I'm sorry?
I said all these years I thought it was Leo Tard.
No.
Leotard. He was a Monsieur Leotard, actually, wasn't he? Was he not?
Yeah. It was.
With an acute accent.
Right. Yeah,
as far as I remember.
Yeah, that was it. It was Leotard.
Sheila.
So it's Jules Leotard is how I can pronounce it, but my poor American accent. But
well, lovely rendition, Judy.
Yes.
Whether you have a poor American accent or not. Because you seem to have quite a good American accent, if you ask me. But anyway. So, is Maggie back?
French bit.
Yes, I think Maggie is back. So Maggie, Judy took your slot. You're about to take Judy.
I'm glad we got most of the song. I love it.
And after you, if we could have Bev Praver or Praver, I don't know if I'm
Praver. It's a long A.
Okay. Anyway, Bev.
Yeah. Sorry, just to make up for our faffing around and bandwidth crisis, a quick tune. I've been reading a bit about Tom Paine, whose extremely eventful life I knew nothing much about. So it's The Rights of Man, and I wondered, Hive Brain, if somebody can tell me why the tune is The Rights of Man, which he published in about 1792 in between running away from trouble on various continents.
Short and sweet, Maggie. Thank you. So, I think you took us all by surprise there, but it was lovely to hear that.
Should have played it more, I said so.
And I'm sure one of you learned friends can tell me a bit more about why that tune is in that pamphlet.
If you go on the internet and search a site called Chip and Fipple, search for the Rights of Man Irish tune, you'll find a lot of information on it.
Thank you. I had some information, about when it was published in tune books, but I still don't really get the connection. It's been ages since I looked at it. Thank you, Chip and Fipple.
There's also a song, I can't remember who it's by,
Yeah.
Mac, but it's
The
called
Corys apparently have recorded a long poem to
Pain's
it.
Boats. There is a song called Tom Pain's Boats.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
oh, yeah.
I didn't know what fuss about the bones was either until I went to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
It's a sad story, yeah.
But no one knows where his bones are.
Irish Englishman who ever lived.
Yeah. Very eventful life, but
They dug
nobody
him
knows
up.
where he ended up. Yeah.
William Congreve went to America to bring his bones back, and then when he brought them back, they got lost and disappeared.
Yeah.
He didn't send them up in a rocket, did he?
Actually, one in Bedford, one in Lewis.
Going on now. Okay, we're going far too far off piece now. Let's get back. Let's get back to the plot, and the plot is Bev, a song from Bev. Welcome, Bev. Have you been here before? Or is this your first time at this song?
This is, I think, the second or third time I've been.
Okay, I've missed you before, so looking forward to hearing you. And after Bev, we'll have Dave Harbord, please.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just go completely different from all the others. I'm going to sing about an American train wreck. Along came the FFE, the swiftest on the line, running o'er the Siena Road, just 20 minutes behind, running into Sewville headquarters on the line, receiving their strict orders from the station just behind. George's mother came to him, a bucket on her arm, saying to her darling son, be careful how you run. Many a man has lost his life trying to make lost time, but if you run your engine right, you'll get there just on time. Up the road she darted, against the rock she crashed. Upside down the engine turned, and George's breast it smashed. His head against the firebox door, the flames were rolling high. I'm glad I was born for an engineer on the Siena Road to die. The doctor said to Georgie, my darling boy, be still. Your life may yet be saved if it is God's blessed will. Oh no, said George, that cannot be. I want to die so free. I want to die for the engine I love, 143. The doctor said to Georgie, your life cannot be saved. Murdered upon a railroad and laid in a lonesome grave. His face was covered up with blood, his eyes you could not see. The very last words poor Georgie said was, nearer my God to thee. Based on a real event.
Lovely, Bev. Great to hear you. Thank you. I hope you
Thank
keep
you.
coming back.
Oh, I will.
Great. So it's Dave Harbord, and Dave will finish off the first half, and then we'll have parish notices, followed by a break before we do it all again with all the people who haven't sung yet. Over to you, Dave.
Thank you very much. On the subject of anglicising songs, I had a lovely chat with Sheila Stewart a few years back, and I said, you know, I understand when people try and imitate other people's accents, it sounds awful. Well, with me, it sounds like everybody sounds like, you know, Dick Van in Mary Poppins with my accent, but she said, Anglicise it. She said that they're not our songs, they're songs. And if you find it easier to sing them by anglicising them, anglicise them. And so that's what I always have done. Anyway, that was a slight digression. This is a song in my own accent about how the rich look after themselves, you know, at the expense of the poor, which we are now witnessing with this shower in Parliament. Okay, anyway. They're moving Grandpa's grave to build a sewer. They're moving it regardless of expense. They're moving Grandpa's grave to put in 9-inch drains to irrigate some posh bloke's residence. Now, what's the use of having a religion if when you die your troubles never cease? Just because some high-born crank wants a pipeline to his tank, they'll never let a British workman rest in peace. But Grandpa in his life was ne'er a quitter, and I don't suppose he'd be a quitter now. In his white winding sheet, he'll haunt that privy seat, and he'll only let them go when he'll allow. And won't there be some bleeding constipation? And won't those city gents both rant and rave? But it's no more than they deserve for having the bleeding nerve to desecrate a British workman's grave. A workman's grave. Thank you.
All right, Dave. Yeah.
We're all joining in.
You know what that reminds me of, Dave? When I first went to the church I go to, the first conversation I heard two elderly women talk about, one of them said, "Oh, I went and visited so-and-so's grave." And the other one said, "Oh, where was it? What was it like?" She said, "Oh, it's in a beautiful cemetery," she said. "I wish they'd found her somewhere like that to live."
Oh dear. I think there's a song in that. Okay, I'm going to mute everybody. It's time for parish notices. Oh, let me just pause the recording. And yeah, welcome to the second half. Our first singer in the second half is going to be Simon Prager, and after Simon, let's have Kate.
This is a Yiddish song. It's called Papierosen, and I think it was quite well known at one time. I think there was a show before the war. Papierosen means cigarettes in Russian. It's a Russian word that was taken over by Yiddish, and it was written by somebody who saw kids selling individual cigarettes in actually in Belarus, so this is topical. Kids were so poor that they were selling individual cigarettes. So it's the chorus just goes, "Kaufsche, kaufsche Papierosen, buy my cigarettes." Where am I going? A kalte Nacht, an Nebeldicke, finster Mitum, steht der Jüngele vertreuet und guckt sich herum. Von Regen schützt der Wand, a Koschekel hat in Hand, und sein Augenbetten jeder stumm. Ich hab schon nicht kein Keuch mehr, herumzugehen in Gas, hungrig und abgerissen von der Regennass. Ich schleppe sich von Baginen, keinen gibt mir zu verdienen, alle lachen, machen von mir Spaß. Kupitsche, kaufsche Papierosen, Trückene vom Regen nicht vergossen. Koifsche billig, Koifsche billig, Benemones, Koif und hot auf mir Rachmones, Kaufbrote wird von Hunger mich erzint. Bitte Koif, je Schwebelach Antiken, der mit der ihrer Jossel der Quieken. Und sie ist mein Schreien und mein Läufen, keinem will bei mir nicht kaufen, euch gehen will ich mussen wie ein Hund. Ich hab gehabt a Schwester, a Kind von der Natur, mit mir zusammen sich geschleppt, hat sie a ganzen Jahr. Mit ihr ist gewesen, mit mir viel geringen leichter wären fleckt der Hunger, wenn ich fleck a Guckton nur auf ihr. Mit der Morgenföhren ist sie schwach und sehr krank. Auf mein Hand ist sie gestorben, auf der Gassenbank. Und als ich hab sie verloren, hab ich alles schon angeboren. Soll der Teut schon kommen euch zu mir. Du bitte Käufsche, Papierosen, Trockene vom Regen nicht vergossen. Käufsche billig Benemones, Käuf und hat euch mir Rachmones, Ratte wird von Hunger mich erzählt. Und bitte Käufsche Schwebelach Antiken, der mitwert ihr Jossen und der Quieken. Und sie ist mein Schreien und mein Läufen, keiner will bei mir nicht kaufen, euch gehen will ich müssen wie ein Hund.
Lovely.
Great stuff, Simon. What a way to start the second half. And you can always pretend that it was also about Brooklyn if you like, because we don't understand the words.
Well, the United States we call single cigarettes Lucy's. But
I understood an occasional word here and there. That was it.
So, Kate, are you there?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So, Kate, you're next, and after you, it will be Graham Baldwin.
Okay. Well, I don't know how I'll follow.
I can't remember if are you unmuted?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Lovely. Okay. Yeah. What I was saying was that the song that I'm going to sing is quite wordy, but I think that to follow Simon's song is quite a challenge. Now, and this isn't strictly relevant, but I will say this: that the other week I nearly sang The Cool of the Day, but Maggie got in first, obviously beautifully, and but the version I sing of The Cool of the Day is one I learnt from Sarah Gray singing it. Actually, I was a bit naughty. I recorded a workshop at Sidmouth one year, and I just thought, I've got to learn this song. Anyway, this song is also about gardens, but in a different context. And last night we went to this thing on Zoom about permaculture, and of course the Ouses in Between is about permaculture, and I think this song is about permaculture as well. It's by Flanders and Swan, which I mean I know it's not an exact folk song, but there you go. And it's all about the habits of climbing plants, and it's called Misalliance. The fragrant honeysuckle spirals clockwise to the sun, and many other creepers do the same. And some climb anti-clockwise, the bindweed does for one, or convolvulus to give her proper name. Rooting on either side of door, one of each species grew. They raced towards the window ledge above. Each corkscrew to the lintel in the only way it knew. Where they stopped, touched tendrils, smiled and fell in love. said the right-handed honeysuckle to the left-handed bindweed. Oh, let us get married if our parents don't mind. We'd be loving and inseparable, inextricably entwined. We'd live happily ever after, said the honeysuckle to the bindweed. To the honeysuckle's parents it came as a shock. The bindweeds, they cried, are inferior stock. They're uncultivated, of breeding bereft. We'd whine to the right and they'd whine to the left, said the left-handed bindweed to the right-handed honeysuckle. We'd better start saving many a mickle, max a muckle, and run away for a honeymoon, and hope that our luck'll take a turn for the better, said the bindweed to the honeysuckle. A bee who was passing remarked to them then, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Consider your offshoots, if offshoots there be, they'll never receive any blessing from me. Poor little sucker, how will it learn when it is climbing which way to turn? Right, left, what a disgrace, for it may go straight up and fall flat on its face. Said the right-hand thread honeysuckle to the left-hand thread bindweed. It seems as against us all fate has combined. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Columbine, thou art lost and gone forever. We will never intertwine. Together they found them the very next day. They had pulled up their roots and just shriveled away. Deprived of that freedom for which we must fight, give they to the left, to the right.
Well done, Kate. Thank you.
Great stuff, Kate. And there were a lot of words, but we could understand them this time.
All right. Well, that's useful. Very useful fact in there.
Yeah. Okay, so Graham from Vancouver is our next singer, and after him it will be Kathy.
Hello everybody, this is my second time here, and despite my English accent I actually live in Canada, as Amanda's just said. I've been here since 1980, and I could sing you songs from my hometown, which is Birmingham, but I think that's pretty sort of mundane for most of you. So I'm going to do a Canadian song, which is what I did last week. This Canadian song last week. This one is a bit of a more obscure one, and it needs a bit of history for you. It's a song about something called the Battle of Batoche in Saskatchewan. Now, I don't know how many people of you know about this battle. It's about the Métis, and maybe people don't even know what the Métis are. You know about English and French, you know about Indigenous peoples in Canada. The Métis are descended from First Nations people and mainly French settlers. And they were called Métis. And at the time of the rebellion, these Métis didn't have rights at all as a distinct people, and in fact those rights weren't granted them until 1982, and they had a few rebellions and battles, and the Northwest Rebellion happened in May 1885. The leader of the Métis was a guy called Ruairidh, and there was a Ruairidh, in fact, was a Canadian politician. He founded the province of Manitoba, but he was a Métis, and because of a rebellion that he'd led in the late 1860s, the Red River Rebellion, he ended up self-isolating to a place, to Montana in the US. And A delegation led by Gabriel Dumont went down to see Ruairidh to invite him to come back to fight for the rights of the Métis in Canada, which he did. The result was the Battle of Batoche in Saskatchewan, and which was the last battle in the Northwest Rebellion. Ruairidh was captured, and he was tried, and he was hanged, rather, that's the correct way. Since then, he's become a folk hero. This is a song about the Battle of Batoche in Saskatchewan, Canada. Here we go. And the east wind blew in the storms of time, where the Métis lived on the winding river. For on a steel rail the settlers came to the South Saskatchewan, and the land they claimed. Then three Métis and Gabriel rode like the wind to wild Montana, and on the sweet grass in the church of stone they found their Saviour, and they took him home, saying, "Come, Riel, we'll make a stand here at Batoche, beside the river. Ah, never mind the Gatling gun. If we lose this time, we've lost forever." Then the bullets flew and the cannons roared, and the Métis blood flowed like a river to the coulee, where they ran to hide. It washed the dreams away, and the spirits died. Oh, come, Riel, we'll make a stand. We're at the top, beside the river. I never mind Gatling gun. If we lose this time, we've lost forever. Then silence stole across the land, the drums of war were gone forever, but in the starlight of the barren plain, the cry of Gabriel flies on the wind. Oh, come, Riel, we'll make a stand. We're at the top, beside the river. I never mind the Gatling gun. If we lose this time, we've lost forever. Oh, come, Riel, we'll make a stand. Here at the top, beside the river, I never mind the Gatling gun. If we lose this time, we've lost forever. If we lose this time, we've lost forever.
Yeah, very good.
Stand for Louis Riel.
Great stuff, Graham. Thank you for bringing a Canadian song. But we don't get very many of them. We need more. Excellent.
Well, I did one last week, and I'll probably do one next week.
Okay, so Kathy's next with a possibly not Canadian song, followed by Chris Lamb.
No, it won't be a Canadian song. I don't think I know any Canadian songs. I'm really hoping I don't mess this one up because it's really embarrassing if you mess it up in front of the writer. One of Tom Reed's songs. We sailed away one bitter cold December day. We hoisted anchor, no delay, from Galway Bay. We sailed away. No time to cry, no mother there to wave goodbye. From famine fields the wild geese fly, to live or die, no time to cry. In God we trust, though all around us turns to dust. Our bellies starve, no crumb nor crust, so live we must. In God we trust. Down in the home, wrapped in rags against the cold, 200 fevered Irish souls, like slaves of old, down in the hole. Out on the way, we beg our children to be brave. So many die, no one can save. We make their graves out on the waves. No Irish here, we stagger slowly down the pier. No helping hand, they mock, they sneer. What do they fear? No Irish here. We sailed away. We sailed away. Thank you, Tom.
Nice.
Well done, Tom, and congratulations also to Kathy. Thank you. Thank you for that joint effort.
Thank you, Kathy. That was wonderful.
This is next, and after Chris, could we have Gwyneth, please?
Okay, this is a sailing song from the Days of Sail. It's a popular song, and in many versions, the name of the docks always varies according to where the sailor's home port was. But the name of the pub at which the voyage finishes, where they finish up in, is always the same. It's the Dog and Bell. And the Dog and Bell is a pub in Deptford, close to where Deptford Creek flows into the Thames. And these days, Dog and Bell has several folk associations. They often have folk sessions there. It's the home of the Deptford Jack in the Green, which starts from there every May Day. And it's also the spiritual home of the Fowlers Molly group, as Sheila Finn and Martin Nile will know, as we all dance with them. Outward Bound. The Blackwall docks we bid adieu, to Kate and Polly and Sal and Sue. Our anchors weighed and the sails unfurled, we're bound halfway across the world. Hurrah, we're outward bound, hurrah, we're outward bound. The wind it blows from east northeast, our ship she sails 9 knots at least, and the girls stand on the docks and cry, while as grog we'll never say die. Hurrah, we're outward bound, hurrah, we're outward bound. At last the captain comes on board, our sails are bent and we're manned and stored, and the Peter's hoisted at the fore. Goodbye to the girls, we'll see no more. Hurrah, we're outward bound, hurrah, we're outward bound. One day the man on the lookout, there's a sail to the windward, he will shout. She's a pilot standing out from the land, and it's up on deck comes every man. Hurrah, we're homeward bound, hurrah, we're homeward bound. Now when we get to the Blackwall docks, then pretty young girls come down in flocks, and one to the other you'll hear them say, oh, here comes Jack with his 10 months' pay. For I see you're homeward bound, I see you're homeward bound. And when we get to the Dog and Bell, where there's good poison for to sell, in comes old Grouser with a smile, saying, drink, me lads, it's worth your while. I see you're homeward bound, hurrah, we're homeward bound. But when your money's all gone and spent, there's none to be borrowed and none to be lent. In comes old Grouser with a frown, saying, get up, Jack, let John sit down. For I see you're outward bound, hurrah, we're outward bound. Then poor old Jack must understand, the ships in the docks are wanting hands, so he ups his gear as he's done before, and he says goodbye to his native shore, for he is outward bound, hurrah, we're outward bound.
One week we read one about being locked down. It was so funny.
Thanks, Chris. Good and rousing. Good and rousing. So Gwyneth is our next singer, and after Gwyneth, it will be Chris. Chris Carpenter, that is.
Hi, I'm going to do a song called The Cobbler's End. And it has some puns in it regarding the cobbler's tools. I got it from Chappell's Popular Music of olden times. A cobbler there was, and he lived in a stall, which served him for parlour, for kitchen and all. No coin in his pocket, nor care in his pate. No ambition had he, nor yet dance at his gate. Derry down, 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 Derry down. Contented he'd worked, and he thought himself happy, if at night he could purchase a jug of brown nappy. How he'd laugh then, and whistle and sing too, most sweet, saying, just to a hair I have made both ends meet. Derry down, 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 Derry down. But love, the disturber of high and of low, that shoots at the peasant as well as the bow, he shot the poor cobbler quite through the heart. I wish he had hit some more in noble part. Derry down, 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 Derry down. It was from a cellar this archer did play, where a buxom young damsel continually lay. Her eyes shone so bright when she rose every day that she shot the poor cobbler quite over the way. Derry down, 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 Derry down. He sang her love songs as he sat at his work, but she was as hard as a Jew or a Turk. Whenever he spake, she would flounce and would flare, which put the poor cobbler quite into despair. Derry down, 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 Derry down. He took up his all that he had in the world, to make away with himself was resolved. He pierced through his body instead of his soul. So the cobbler he died and the bell it did toll. Derry down, 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 Derry down. And now in goodwill I advise as a friend, all cobblers take warning by this cobbler's end. Keep your hearts out of love, for we find by what's past that love brings us all to an end at the last. Derry down, 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 Derry down. Thanks. Thank you, Gwyneth. Our next singer is Chris Carter, followed by David Clare. Just a warning, I let time slip away quite badly during the interval, so we are running quite late. It would be lovely to get everybody on. It looks like we'll go a bit beyond 11 to do that. So if you could assist by keeping introductions short, then please do. Also, David Jones, I'm not sure whether you want to sing or not, because you've ticked the go slower box rather than a blue hand, so I'm not sure what that means. Okay, so if you could raise the blue hand, that'd be great. Meanwhile, it's over to Chris.
Fran, can you hear me?
You can.
Good. I'll do a short song I learned many years ago from a man named Mike Bonner, who hails from Grimsby on the northeast coast. I'll sing you a song, and a very pretty one, concerning Cretan Jane. How she never saw a mare or a gelding in her life, that she valued at the worth of half a pin. Lal the day, the diddle of the day, oh, how she never saw a mare or a gelding in her life, that she valued at the worth of half a pin. Lal the day. Well, Cretan Jane to the races come, the jockeys gathered all around, oh, and all that they could say concerning Cretan Jane, she's not able for to gallop o'er the ground. Lal the day, the diddle of the day, oh, and all that they could say concerning Cretan Jane, she's not able for to gallop o'er the ground. Lal the day. Now when that they came to the first mile post, Cretan Janie was far behind, oh, and the rider flung his whip around her bonny little neck, and he said, me little lassie, never mind. Lal the day, the diddle of the day, and the rider flung his whip around her bonny little neck, and he said, me little lassie, never mind. Lal the day. And when that they came to the third mile post, Cretan Janie was blithe and smart, oh, and then she lifted up her little lily white hoof and flew past them all just like a dart. Lal the day, the diddle of the day, oh, and then she lifted up her little lily white hoof and flew past them all just like a dart. Lal the day. Well, Cretan Janie the race has one, and scarcely sweat one drop. Oh, she is able for to gallop all the grounds all again, while the others is not able for to trot. Lull the day, the diddle of the day. Oh, she is able for to gallop all the grounds all again, while the others is not able for to trot. Lull the day. Now creepin' Janie, she's dead and gone, and her body lies on the cold ground. Oh, I will go unto be master one favour for to beg, just to keep her little body from the hounds. Loud the day, the diddle of the day. I will go unto be master one favour for to beg, just to keep her little body from the hounds. Loud the day.
Yeah, well sung.
Congratulations, that very dead horses.
Nice one, Chris. Thank you very much. Now over to David Clare, and then it will be Jim Lucas.
I was going to sing a Lancashire dialect song in a Scottish accent, but I've decided not to. And because it's a bit of a Brooklyn theme, and it was so lovely to hear Kathy. I've just been messaging Tom. It's so horrible not to have Tom singing. But that song itself had a bit of a Brooklyn theme because of all the people who emigrated, and this is so I thought this one's a similar one from County Clare, written in 1860 by a bloke called Thomas Madden. Far, far from the Isle of the Holy and the Grand, where the wild oxen fatten and brave men are banned, all lowly and low in a far distant land, do I wonder and pine for poor Erin. Lonely and sad I roam, far from my island home, where the wild waves surge in foam, headlands appearing, clouded in silvery spray, crashing through heaven's bright ray, for the glory and pride of poor Erin. How dearly I love for to wander once more to the old ones I left round me own cabin door. My blessing I send them 10,000 times o'er, with a prayer and a tear for poor Erin. Lonely and sad I roam, far from my island home, where the wild waves surge in foam, headlands appearing, clouded in silvery spray, thrashing through heaven's bright ray, for the glory and pride of poor Erin. Such sad is my fate in lonely exile, Dark, dark are the night clouds round Lone Shanachile, where your murdered lie silently, pile after pile, in the coffinless graves of old Erin. Lonely and sad I roam, far from the island home, where the wild waves surge and foam, headlands appearing, clouded in silvery spray, thrashing through heaven's bright ray, for the glory and pride of poor Erin. Well, I'm watching and praying the length of the night, for the grey dawn of freedom, my signal to fight. The rifle is loaded and the sabre is bright, for to strike once again for poor Erin. Lonely and sad I roam, far from the island home, where the wild waves surge and foam, headlands appearing, clouded in silvery spray, thrashing through heaven's bright ray, for the glory and pride of poor Erin. For the glory and pride of poor Erin. Thank you.
Yay!
Oh, good, Dave.
Good save.
Yeah.
Just briefly, I first heard that sung by the Roscommon songbird, who's mistaken for a Sligo singer, Kathy Jordan, well known to.
That's where I first heard it too.
What's it called? If I were going to look it up.
Lone Shanachile. It's a place. Shanachile is a place of a big famine grave just outside Kilrush in County Clare.
Thank you, Dave. That was well, wonderful as always, and all the inordinate praise is in the chat as usual. Okay, so over to Jim Lucas, and Jim will be followed by Richard Mellish.
Okay, I unmuted and then I got muted and I've unmuted again, but in the meantime, I didn't hear what you said. Aside from my name. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, and now I can hear you. That was presumably a computer glitch that I couldn't hear you. Okay, this is a song collected in Martha's Vineyard, but I strongly suspect it originated in Ireland. Tragedies, oh dear, tragedies. Let me pick my key. I'll sing of a fellow who lived in the city. He was a melodious, sweet-scented loon. His hair, it was curly, his heels double-jointed. He was first engineer in a barber's saloon. You could watch him each morning while handling the razor. The people would gather in crowds round the door, and oh, would exclaim as he slapped on the lather, such a popular barber was ne'er seen before. Well, there was a young maiden, her name was O'Brien, and she was at work in a kitchen close by, and every day in her way to the market, it's in at this barber she'd cast the sheep's eye. Well, the barber would wait till he saw her returning, and all of a jump to the door he would come. A box of pomade he would slip in her basket, and then drink her health in a pint of bay rum. But a young butcher boy by the name of Sam Snyder, he heard of this barber and jealousy grew. He loaded a platter with kidneys and doughnuts, and straight for this sweet-scented barber he flew. Well, the barber advanced, and he sounded to quarters, and boarders repel as he met Snyder's rush. He caught Snyder's nose on the peak of his elbow, and blew out his brains with a lathering brush. When the maiden O'Brien, she heard of this slaughter, she made up her mind to commit suicide. She swallowed 3 gallons of Bonaparte brandy, went down to the cellar and laid down and died. Oh, the barber went crazy, he busted his business, the policy played and his money let fly. He wasted and dwindled clean down to a shatter, and he poisoned himself with a box of hair dye.
Jim.
Yeah, very good.
A likely story.
Sure, every word was true.
Always are. Thank you, Jim. And you're singing from Denmark, is that right? Is that right?
Yes, I'm in Denmark, Helsingør, better known to English as Elsinore. If I lean out from my balcony, I can see Hamlet's castle on the other side of town.
Oh, great. Oh, okay.
And I can look out my window here and see Sweden.
There's a song about that, but we're probably not going to hear it tonight. Anyway, so Richard is next, and after Richard it will be Tom Finn. And David Jones, you're still on the go slower button, so could you indicate some way, either by shouting out or something, whether you actually want to sing this evening, because I'm really not sure. Okay, over to Richard.
Mute myself. I can return to the Brooklyn theme for you. Now, how about that? 2 things. One is a very short bit of doggerel, which my nutty aunt used to recite, and it's a burlesque of Brooklynese, and then there's a little song. There was 20 purple blackbirds a sitting on the coib, a piping and a chiping and a eating dirty worms. Along comes a joke named Boyd who works in a shite factory in Jersey, and when he seen them 20 purple blackbirds a sitting on the coib, a piping and a chiping and a eating dirty worms, boy was he perturbed. And then the song, which is from Phil Coldclough. It took 40 days to cross from the Cape Sierra Leone. On a voyage out of Liverpool we were 60 days from home. But the watches they are ended, and the lads ashore for beer. We made her nice and fast at the foot of Brooklyn Pier. And it's goodbye America, farewell New York town. Your hard streets and concrete have surely brought me down. You courted me with tinsel and you spent my money blind. But adios America, I'm leaving you behind. Now I'd read about America in 100 magazines, and my mind was filled with images from 1,000 picture screens, and it seemed just like a fairyland as the night came falling down, riding in a taxi to the heart of New York town. But it's goodbye America, farewell New York town. Your hard streets and concrete have surely brought me down. You courted me with tinsel and you spent my money blind. But adios America, I'm leaving you behind. But the fairy lights were neon strips, and the warmth it wasn't much, and the castles in the air, they were cold to the touch, and the presents that she gave me, though they cost a lot of dough, when the colour faded, the plastic it showed through. And so it's goodbye America, farewell New York town. Your hard streets and concrete have surely brought me down. You courted me with tinsel and you spent my money blind. But adios America, I'm leaving you behind. Now the ropes are singled off and we're loaded down with flour. We're taking Pepsi-Cola to the port of Calabar, and making down the Hudson the lads didn't seem to mind. So adios America, I'm leaving you behind, and it's goodbye America, farewell New York town. Your hard streets and concrete have surely brought me down. You courted me with tinsel and you spent my money blind. But adios America, I'm leaving you behind. That's that one.
Good man.
Never heard that one. That's
Phil Colclough.
I haven't heard you do that one before, Richard, and the accented poetry beforehand was to behold, amazing. Thank you. So Tom Finn is next, and I will then call Rick. Are you there, Tom?
Sorry, I didn't realise I wasn't unmuted. Okay, I'm going to sing Slattery's Mounted Foot, which is a Percy French song. This year is Percy French's 100th anniversary. So in this honour, I've learned a new one of his songs, new to me anyway. You've heard of Julius Caesar and the great Napoleon too, and how the Cork militia beat the Turks at Waterloo. But there's a page of glory that as yet remains uncut, and that's the warlike story of the Slattery Mounted Foot. This gallant corps was organised by Slattery's eldest son, a noble-minded poacher with a double-breasted gun. And many a head was broken high, and many an eye was shut, when learning to manoeuvre in the Slattery Mounted Foot. And down from the mountains came the squadrons and platoons, 24 fighting men and a couple of stout gossoons. And when behind the drum they marched to patriotic tunes, we knew that fame would gild the name of Slattery's Light Dragoons. Well, first we reconnoitred round O'Sullivan Sheebeen. It used to be the shop house, but we called it the canteen. But there we saw a notice which the bravest heart unnerved. All liquor must be settled for before the drink is served. So on we marched, but soon again each warrior's heart grew pale, for rising high in front of us we saw the county jail. And when the army faced about, 'twas just in time to find a couple of stout policemen had surrounded us behind. Still down from the mountains came the squadrons and platoons, 24 fighting men and a couple of stout gossoons. Say, Slattery, we must circumvent these bludgeoning bastones, or else it seems they'll take the names of Slattery's Light Dragoons. We'll cross the ditch, our leader cried, and take the foe in flank. But yells of consternation here arose from every rank, for posted high upon a tree we very plainly saw trespassers prosecuted in accordance with the law. We're foiled, exclaimed bold Slattery, here ends our grand campaign. 'Tis merely throwing life away to cross that mare and drain. I'm not as bold as lions, but I'm braver than a hen, and he who fights and runs away will live to fight again. So back to the mountains went the squadrons and platoons, 24 fighting men and a couple of stout gossoons. The band were playing cautiously their patriotic tunes, so sing the fame, if rather lame, of Slattery's Light Dragoons. They reached the mountain safely, though all stiff and sore with cramp. Each took a whet of whiskey straight to dissipate the damp. And when they loaded all their pipes, Bell Slattery ups and says, "Today's a mortal fight will be remembered by the dead. I never will forget the way, I never will forget," says he. Oh God, what am I doing? I never shall forget Susie, while this brave heart shall beat. The eager way he followed when I headed their retreat. He preferred the soldier's maxim when desisting from the strife. Best be a coward for 5 minutes than a dead man all your life. And there in the mountains lay in squadrons and platoons 24 fighting men and a couple of stout gossoons. They never more will march again to patriotic tunes, though all the same they sing the fame of Slattery's light dragoons. Sheila Will.
Well done.
Done, Tom. Haven't heard that for ages.
Story, you know the story about the West Clare Railway? Percy French was on the West Clare Railway. I think he had a gig in Kilkee, and the railway was so bloody late that he missed the gig. And in fury, he wrote a song about it called "Are You Right There, Michael?" And the railway company got the piss taken out of them mercilessly, so they sued him, and he turned up in court late, and the judge said, "Why are you late?" And he said, "I was on the West Clare Railway," and the judge threw the case out.
Dismissed, yeah.
Was it run by the same
Right.
people who run the Southern Railway?
Rick is our next singer, and then we shall have David Jones. You've switched from go slower to go faster. I'm taking that as a yes, so it'll be Rick followed by David. Don't worry about the hand at this stage. Are you there, Rick? Can't hear you. You'll have to unmute.
Sorry, I did unmute and then I guess got remuted. So I was just quickly. I started singing as a boy soprano in the church choir, and many in the church held musicians, if not in utter contempt, at least under a great deal of suspicion. And no one was more suspect than blues musicians. There was quite a gulf between Saturday night and Sunday morning. And needless to say, blues musicians felt that they might respond to that. So here's such a response. It's nobody's fault but mine. It's nobody's fault but mine. If I should die and my soul be lost, it ain't nobody's fault but mine. My Nana taught me how to pray. My Nana taught me to pray. If I don't pray and my soul be lost, it ain't nobody's fault but mine. I started singing in a choir. I started singing in a choir. But if I don't hear and my soul be lost, it ain't nobody's fault but mine. No, it's nobody's fault but mine. Oh, it's nobody's fault but mine. If I should die and my soul be lost, it ain't nobody's fault but mine. I had a Bible in my home. Oh, I had a Bible in my home. If I don't read and all be lost, it ain't nobody's fault but mine. I'm not the kind to kneel and pray. Oh, I'm not my style to kneel and pray. So if I don't pray and my soul be lost, it's nobody's fault but mine. No, it's nobody's fault but mine. I know it's nobody's fault but mine. If when I die my soul be lost, it ain't nobody's fault but mine.
What the hell's wrong with you, man?
It's entirely your fault, Rick, whatever it is. Pinning the blame on you for running late, we're getting some weird technical glitches this evening, actually. So anyway, let's forge ahead. There's still people here. We are going on a bit beyond 11, but I'd like everyone to sing this evening. So while there's people here, we shall carry on. David Jones is our next singer, followed by Declan.
Okay.
Are you there? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right here. It's an Ian Robb song. I don't know where I've sung it before because I can't remember what I did 2 minutes ago. So, what have they done to the old rose and crown? The ship, the king's arms, the world turned upside down. For oak, brass and leather and a pint of the best fade away like the sun as it sinks in the west. Come gather round, friends, and I'll tell you a tale. It's a story well known to all lovers of ale. The old English pub, once a man's second home, has been decked out by brewers in plastic and foam. What have they done to the old rose and crown? The ship, the king's arms, the world turned upside down. For oak, brass and leather and a pint of the best fade away like the sun as it sinks in the west. And the old wooden bar where the pumps filled the glass gives way to formica and tanks full of gas. The old landlord behind, once a man of good cheer, just mumbles the price as he hands you your beer. What have they done to the old rose and crown? The ship, the king's arms, the world turned upside down. For oak, brass and leather and a pint of the best fade away like the sun as it sinks in the west. And where are the friends who would meet for a jar or a good game of darts in the old public bar? The dartboard is gone, in its place is a thing where you pull on a handle and lose all your tin. What have they done to the old rose and crown? The ship, the king's arms, the world turned upside down. For oak, brass and leather and a pint of the best fading away like me. Fade away like the sun as it sinks in the west. But worst of it all is what they've done to the beer, with shandies and lagers that will make you feel queer. For an arm and a leg they will fill up your glass with a half and half mixture of ullage and gas. What have they done to the old rose and crown? The ship, the king's arms, the world turned upside down. For oak, brass and leather and a pint of the best fade away like the sun as it sinks in the west. There you go.
Well done.
Love that. Love that.
Strong with feeling.
Song is
Strong
written
with
by,
feeling.
Lovely,
written by
David.
Ian Robb.
who knows what the pubs will be like when we're out of this
Oh
stage.
God! Or how many
Anyway,
of them
let's
will be
not
left?
think about
Won't be
that.
any left, yeah.
Okay, Declan's our next singer, and then we have another 3 after him. It will be Stacey, then Lisa, then Lynn to finish. So over to you, Declan. Can't hear you.
You hear me now?
Yeah, hear you now.
Yeah. Okay. I just had a mad rush to look for an extension to plug in my phone. I was about to run out of power. I know you're under pressure, but I had a big long introduction to this song, but I won't bother with that. But it's one of the songs I was hoping to sing at the old jail in Roscommon on Saturday, and it's a song, The Jail of Clonmala. Clonmala is Clonmel in the County Tipperary, the Valley of Honey. How hard is my fortune, how vain my repining. The strong rope of fate for my young neck is twining. My strength is departed, my cheeks sunken sallow, while I languish in chains in the jail of Clonmala. No boy in the village was ever more milder. I could play with a child and my sport be no wilder. I could dance without tiring from morning till even, and my gold ball I'd strike to the lightning of heaven. At my bed but decaying, my Hurley is lying. Oh God. To the lad of the village, my gold ball is flying. My heart's among the neighbors, neglected may follow, while I pine here in chains in the jail of Clonmala. Next Sunday the pattern at home will be keeping. The young active hurlers the fields will be sweeping. A dance of fair maidens the evening will hallow, while this heart once so gay will be cold in Clonmala. Oh, how hard is my fortune, how vain my repining. The strong rope of fate for my young neck is twining. My strength is departed, my cheeks sunk and sallow, while I languish in pain in the jail of Clonmala. That's about a fellow from the County Kerry who was a member of the White Boys, and the White Boys were an organization in the 1700s.
Thanks very much, Declan. I hope you get I hope you get to sing it this
Yeah.
weekend. Yeah, I really do. Hope that goes ahead.
Yeah.
I hope they let him out again.
I've never sung it before, so I'm practicing it on you guys.
Declan, it was beautiful. It was just great.
Yeah.
So our
Yeah,
next singer is
Stacey. You know the Cleland last coming had the world's first hangman.
Oh, wow.
In the 1700s.
Hey.
A woman called Lady
Hey.
Betty.
He said you wouldn't do an introduction, now he's carrying on.
And she hung a lot of the white boys, whom this guy was a member of as well. I was going to tell you that history, but there we go.
Another time.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
You're a writer. Put it in the chat.
Anyway, our next is Stacey. And Stacey, is this your first appearance here?
Nope, I sang last week. And
Okay, so we Stacey, who needs to unmute, and followed by Lisa.
All right, I picked something simple with a chorus that everyone can learn in a moment in honor of today being the 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote all across the United States. So here we go. I'm going to put this on gallery view so I can see everyone singing along. I'll start with the chorus. Oh dear, what can the matter be? Dear, dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Women are wanting to vote. Women have husbands, they are protected. Women have sons by whom they're directed. Women have fathers, they're not neglected. Why are they wanting to vote? Chorus. Oh dear, what can the matter be? Dear, dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Women are wanting to vote. Women have homes, there they should labor. Women have children whom they should favor. Women have time to learn of each neighbor. Why are they wanting to vote? Chorus. Oh dear, what can the matter be? Dear, dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Women are wanting to vote. Women can dress, they love society. Women have cash with its variety. Women can pray with sweetest piety. Why are they wanting to vote? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Dear, dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Women are wanting to vote. Well, women are preaching to sinners today. Women are healing the sick by the way. Women are dealing out law as they may. Why are they wanting to vote? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Dear, dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Women are wanting to vote. Women are traveling about here and there. Women are working like men everywhere. Women are marching for what's only fair. That's why they're wanting to vote. Last chorus. Oh dear, what can the matter be? Dear, dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Women are wanting to vote. The 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th.
I'd forgotten all about that one, Stacey. You used to play it when we did school programs.
That's a great. You really put a new life into it, Stacey.
Do you want to talk to me?
Thank you.
Talk to me.
What year was
Great
that?
stuff. There are a number of things that are the matter, but let's not go into let's not go into them right now. Lisa is our penultimate singer, and then our ultimate singer will be Lynn Pitt.
Following right along in the vein of social justice and execution, I'm going to sing a song written the late 19th century that passed a little bit into oral tradition, I think. It was published in a broadside all over in one of the Chicago newspapers in honor of Albert Parsons, who was one of the Haymarket martyrs in the late 19th century. He was one of several executed for inciting to riot, the big Haymarket riots of that time, which were part of a big incendiary strike. And he was later pardoned by Governor Altgeld of Illinois. He was an anarchist, a fairly peaceful anarchist. We don't use anarchist and terrorism interchangeably back then, or they shouldn't have, because they weren't really the same thing, except in certain cases. As we do now in America, everything we don't like is called an anarchist or a terrorist by some people. Anyway, he was known as having a beautiful voice, and he wrote this, so somebody wrote this sort of execution ballad style tribute to him using the song he was supposed to sing the night of his death. And I think of it as a wonderful labor anthem. His wife, Lucy Parsons, went on after his death and continued editing his newspaper and developed her own name in her own time. You'll pick up on the sort of a last refrain, which you could, and to buy the toiler's freedom, I would pay the price and die. You'll pick it up when I get the tune. Oh, the night is dark about me. I hear the midnight bell, and before another midnight, it will ring my funeral knell. It will ring my funeral knell. And the hours are speeding by, and to buy the toiler's freedom, I would pay the price and die. Pent in a dismal dungeon, forbidden to be free, like a slave in chains and iron. Oh, what is life to me? Oh, what is life to me? Speak out, my heart, reply, and to buy the toiler's freedom, I would pay the price and die. Tonight my babes are crouching by their weeping mother's side. For this country's sake, the father leaves his children and his bride. Leaves his children and his bride, while men for succor cry, and to buy the toiler's freedom, I would pay the price and die. The hours are growing shorter. Tonight will be my last, and this night of wrong, my country, from thee shall soon have passed. From thee shall soon have passed, and I see a star on high, and to buy the toiler's freedom I would pay the price and die. Weep not above my ashes, this is no time for tears, but let every man stand ready when he the bugle hears. When he the bugle hears, speak out, my heart, reply, and to buy the toiler's freedom we will pay the price and die. Yes, it's Albert Prout.
Lisa.
That's the labor anthem.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Good to hear
All
that.
the labor martyrs, past and present.
Great to hear that, Lisa. Thank you. Our final singer then for this evening is Lynn Pitt. And Lynn, I think this is your debut at Sharp. Is that correct?
Not entirely. I've been to Sharps in person.
But Sharps in isolation is.
Not in Sharps in isolation. No, I haven't done Zoom Sharps. I've done many others, but not Sharps. So this is my first.
Welcome.
With you.
Over to you. Don't forget to unmute.
Gold. Sorry, dear me. No, I was saying that this is my first Sharps. I've been to Sharps in person, but I've never done a Sharp Zoom. And a thank you to Tom for this song. I've hummed my drum from kingdom come to the back of the Milky Way. I boiled my quart on the Cape of York, and I starved last Christmas Day. I crossed the Murray, and I drank in Cloncurry, where they charge a bob a nip. I've worked on the Gulf, where the cattle lay doff, and the squatters let them rip. I've worked from morn in the fields of corn till the sun was out of sight. I've cause to know the great Bino and the great Australian Bight. I danced with Kit when the lamps were lit, and with Doll when the dance broke up. I flung my hat on the mile track when Bowman won the cup. I laughed aloud with a merry crowd in the city of the plains. I sweated too in Onderoo while walked in those big board rains. I wheeled my bike from the sheer strike, not wanting a funeral shroud, and I made the weight for the flying stakes, but I dodged the lynching crowd. I carried a gun through World War I, then went on the track again. From Omeo to Bendigo, to Bork and back again. I shed some tears in the hungry years, when jobs were few and short. Then I packed up a swag and an old ducker bag. There was nothing else to do. I've hummed my drum from kingdom come to the back of the Milky Way.
Thank you.
Lovely song.
It's beautiful. Very, very well sung.
Lovely, Lynn. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for finishing the evening off so beautifully. We've had some fabulous songs this evening. Now it's time to go home. Oh, good. That was.
Oh.
And
Run for the last bus.
Sorry, Scott. It is late. I'm sorry it's gone on so late. I think it was worth it for all these fantastic songs. So I hope that we'll see you all next week, and have a good week. Have a safe week. And
thank you very, very much.
It's Livy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes.
And co-host.
And co-host.
Lovely evening.
And Livy.
Thank you, everybody. What a wonderful trip.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Night.